Baik, kembali lagi bersama dengan kita di Sejahtera Asia dan kami nak ucapkan selamat pagi juga kepada anda yang sedang menyaksikan kita di platform media sosial TVS dan juga Sejahtera Asia. Jangan lupa untuk terus like, komen dan juga kongsikan supaya lebih ramai lagi yang boleh menonton Sejahtera Asia di pagi yang cukup indah ini bersama saya dan juga Fatah. Baik, kita nak teruskan saja ke perbincangan kita di segmen ini di mana kalau kita tahu ancaman COVID-19 sememangnya belum berakhir sepenuhnya dan semasa berlakunya Perintah Kawalan pergerakan kita sangat terhad, kita dapat lihat banyak perniagaan, banyak industri terutamanya dalam sektor pelancongan, sektor di mana ia memerlukan pelancong untuk datang ke negara kita hampir lumpuh. Tetapi apabila kerajaan mengumumkan bahawa Malaysia akan berubah ke fasa endemik, akan memasuki ke fasa endemik, kita nampak sinar harapan di mana lebih banyak rakyat Malaysia dipenuh dengan vaksinasi dan sebagainya. Dan kita pun sudah mula melihat ketibaan pelancong asing, ketibaan rakan-rakan kita daripada Semenanjung Malaysia, daripada Singapura dan sebagainya. Dan ia sangat sesuai dengan topik kita pada pagi ini, iaitu Business Sustainability with Borneo Convention Centre Kuching. Jadi dengan itu, kita bersama dengan Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif BCCK, Mr. Eric Van Piggelen. Pada pagi ini bersama dengan kita di Sejahtera Asia. Mr. Eric, good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you very much for having me.
Yep, thank you for being with us here in TVS this morning. So we know that tourism and hospitality are among the industries which are one of the worst hit during the pandemic. And we know that BCCK always hosts international events, international conventions. So when the borders started opening in April 2022, how has BCCK been today?
Yeah, thank you for that. Look, I think obviously over the last 2 years, I think everyone has been hit, like globally.
Yeah.
Obviously, our sort of business revolves a lot around people traveling to us, right? Apart from the local business that we have. But even that was hampered because no one was allowed to fly anywhere. I would say that sort of during this extremely bad period for everybody, and in every bad period, I would say there's massive opportunities. I think we've sort of focused on the massive opportunities that we could embark on once COVID and 19 would sort of fade away a little bit, and also that the borders would be lifted. I think with that in mind, and I think with that positive mindset, I think we've done an amazing job. I think what really kick-started it for us, quarter one was not a great sort of 3 months, but then in quarter two, starting also with Ramadan, was phenomenal. It was absolutely incredible. Basically what I'm saying is our best year in Ramadan up until COVID was surpassed in this past Ramadan. So we had more than 35,000 people coming through the doors. It was a great success. But again, I think that that just simply tells us that we can build from there and grow it even further. I think all the other businesses, we've had a lot of open houses during that period as well. I would say a good 10 to 12,000 people coming through the doors for that. And of course, we had IDEX, for instance, with 2,500 people. Which was awesome for us, and we always look forward to IDEX, by the way, because it's a phenomenal conference. And on the other side, believe it or not, people want to get married again, right? So there's about 28 weddings this year. It's incredible. So I would say in all the segments that we normally make money in, we are making money in, but at the same time, I think we are also looking at different revenue streams down the road.
All right. Okay. So, Mr. Eric, the business event lineup are really remarkable, right? As we're adapting to the new normal to live with the COVID-19. So, do you foresee the hybrid event will stay? Especially for the regional and international business events.
Right. We all say new normal, right? And there's nothing new anymore, right? Let's be honest, right? It's actually just sort of back to normal again. And whatever malevolence there's in the world and whatever hits us, we have to adapt and we have to make plans to overcome it and move on. But I do understand the question, and yes, hybrid is here definitely to stay. I think it's just allowed us as well to to open up business more, I would say. It's in fact, it's not something that many people would say it's a hamper for our business, because a lot of our business is based on networking, you know, face-to-face meetings and getting to know each other and the characters and so on, and the trust that emanates from that. But I think that regardless of how you look at it, people are, whether they're afraid or not, or whether it's a cost-saving exercise down the track, which I believe it will become, I think the hybrid events are definitely a reality for us to stay, for everybody, in fact. And so much so that we've already invested in that. So we've got a whole digital broadcasting suite that we've bought, similar to what you have here in TVS. So it's a massive, massive setup that we're embarking on. We're going through certain training, and no doubt can we do something together with TVS as well down the road. But these are the things where we can delicate boost, we can do a whole bunch of things ourselves as well, and use this kind of platform, which you're doing so well right now, for us as well as BCCK and for businesses in general. So yeah, it's definitely here to stay.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also more options for your future clients to look into.
Exactly.
And Mr. Eric, just now you were mentioning that BCCK needs to diversify in terms of how their incomes are coming in, looking at new business ventures, new business opportunities. Maybe you can share with us what are the new business diversify or new business opportunities that BCCK is looking into to create, to earn where the money is.
Yes, now I understand. Look, first I'd like to just mention something very quickly to you. About a good 7-8 years ago, we've adopted this business model which is based on a vertical kairetsu. And I'm not going to explain that all to you right now, but it basically means, in layman terms, that we constantly look for new revenue streams, okay? There's not many convention centers that actually do that around the world. I know I've been to quite a few. So, so what I'm saying is, and I would want to sort of contribute this to the Premier and the Sarawak government, but also our own boards that we report to, that they've allowed me the freedom to come up with visions and these different kinds of segments and revenue streams. So you're basically looking at core segments and you're looking at non-core segments. For me, the core segments need to be tapped in any case, right? They need to be there in any case. So what we've looked at is these additional non-core segments, which have become core. For instance, our off-site catering is something we started a few years ago. We bought a little truck. Quite a few people were a little skeptical. And now we have two massive trucks, right? And it's just growing and growing, and everybody is obviously, embarking on calling BCCK for the outside catering, whether it's at home or whether it's off-site. So that is just another segment. And some people might say, yeah, but surely you want to get people back to BCCK. Well, that's going to happen in any case, because, like I said, that engine continues to move. But it's all the other revenue streams that we're looking at. Some of the other ones that we're looking at is diversifying our business. With other words, we're also looking at creating some new developments. I can't go into massive detail right now, but I think the word massive comes into play. So we'll keep you posted, and I think when the powers that be will share this with you, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal for BCCK, but also, again, I think for Sarawak. I just want to, my extreme gratitude to the Premier and Dr. Sri Karim and all those players that have really, really helped us, because you know what the problem is at the moment? I think a lot of people and a lot of businesses during COVID have laid off people, they've retrenched people, and we've not done that, and we've been allowed to sort of continue with our skill set. So when we hit the ground, we hit it like running, and that's been, I think, a massive boost for us. And I think a lot of people simply know that we've got good standards, and sometimes if we do falter, we try and rectify it as soon as possible to try and just give everyone the best.
Wow, that's amazing times. And interesting, there's also a new announcement that we want. Apa kita tengah tunggu, tak boleh di reveal lagi.
Alright, okay. So, Mr. Eric, Pizza La Borneo is now, talk of the town, and go to pizza at the Kuching Festival. It's really, amazing. So, what motivated BCCK to venture into a pizza business? A big question, why pizza?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Who doesn't like pizza, you might add, right? Throughout the world, pizza is a pretty big deal. we've never had the opportunity, or I would say we've never taken the opportunity to sort of explore what we could do with all these kind of areas where we've not delved into before. You know, we have got Raintree. That Raintree is growing exponentially. That's really awesome to watch. Of course, we've come down in price there to make it more realistic, I think, for everybody to come. And we'll continue that. And there's big menus coming up, new menus coming up very, very shortly in the next month or two. And so we're going to overhaul that side. The pizza thing, well, we've had discussions all around. I mean, I do like enough pizza, as you can see from time to time. But I must be honest, I'm not overly, and it's not trying to knock anyone, but I'm not overly impressed with the standards of the pizza and the taste and the manner in which they make it, right?
Yep.
And so there's some companies, which I will not mention, that have decent pizzas,
Yep.
but we thought that it could be an addition. I think at the same time, we must understand that downstairs we've opened up a small little shop, and we're sort of building that out. It's called Gourmet. That is a standalone shop on its own. And we're growing that out now, and we're looking at how we and what kind of items we're going to push in there. And one of these things was the pizza. Now, with that oven that we bought from Italy, you can do not only pizzas but many other things. But now we had to choose a certain segment, right, to then get into the Kuching Fest. Well, if you just simply look at the Kuching Fest, you'll see what kind of foods there are on offer.
Yeah.
So I know the Kuching Fest. I've been in Sarawak for 11 years. So with my crew, we know more or less what has been sold there.
Yeah.
Not many pizza places. And of course, then the other thing is that the location. So we bought ourselves a really good location, and it's seen from every single angle. So I think with good quality pizzas, tasty pizzas, a really, really good price, anything from 18 to 20 ringgit. That's what we're doing at the moment. It's been a raving success. I mean, we're selling at least about 250 on average a day, which for me is phenomenal. I mean, can you imagine selling 250 pizzas a day?
Nice.
That's a good business to be into, right?
Yeah.
So, and it will not stop there. So once the Kuching Fest is done, now, and we're busy with that right now as we speak, we're finding a place where we're going to put that, and we're going to just continue with that whole rollout. And there's a lot of people that have asked us, say, listen, please, are you guys going to continue? And are you coming to my area? And we may even do that. We may even come to areas and park it there on a weekend and sell pizzas. So again, like I said, we're very, very flexible, and we're not just sort of stuck to one building. I think that is our strength. And it's really exciting to be part of.
Wow, jadi penonton kalau nak try pizza ni go to
Fatah dah
pizza
try dah?
ni
Have you-
belum lagi.
You should brought the pizza for us here this morning.
I should have. It's a little too early for pizza, but
Tapi kalau nak
you'll
try
be my
tu-
guest later.
Kalau nak try tu bolehlah pergi Kuching Festival sebulan Kuching Festival ni pergilah beli pizza tu, nak rasakan macam mana kenikmatan, the quality dan harga dia memang affordable. Jadi kita nak berhenti berehat, jadi jangan ke mana-mana, hanya dalam Sejahtera
Sejahtera Asia.
Asia. Ya, kembali lagi anda bersama dengan kami dalam Sejahtera Asia. Terima kasih banyak-banyak penonton kerana setia bersama dengan kami. Kita masih pada topik yang sama, Business Sustainability with BCCK. Alright, bersama dengan Mr. Eric Van Piggelen, Ketua Eksekutif Borneo Convention Centre Kuching. Alright, Mr. Eric. Beside the new normal, we now are facing the global supply chains, climate crisis, inflation. So, what are some BCCK major plan for future to prove business growth amidst bleak global economy outlook?
Yeah, you're right about that. We've bought during the whole pandemic scenario, right? We've bought a lot of hardware and software and so on throughout the world. And like I said, to just sort of to get our ideas going and so on. But they've been held up everywhere in the world, you know. So it's a massive problem. The supply chain issue is a massive problem. And to get that back on route again, because boats you can only go so fast, right? So, but here's the thing: when that happens, it has a ripple effect, and the ripple effect is things become more expensive, right? And when things become more expensive, what you're selling as a business becomes more expensive. Well, we're doing it the other way around. Although we might take a knock on our yield, on our cost of sales, I want to keep the prices down. Okay, so we're looking at the masses who are suffering, in a way, who have to look at these you know, the ringgits very carefully. They can't just go and spend left, right, and center. But at the same time, you know, that's the kind of. So I don't want to penalize, say, Sarawakians or anybody else for that matter. You know, because there's something happening in the world that they cannot control. We can also not control it. But what I can control is the price of a steak, the price of a pizza, the price of a whole. And I can bring that down so that it becomes simply, again, more affordable for everybody. When it becomes more affordable, you just create that market in itself again, and people start coming to you. And I think that is really how you overcome these things. You can't make a quick ringgit off something that has had such a negative impact in the world. Is not a good business plan to have. That's my view. What other people think is their view. And I must say that what we've been doing in BCCK has proved us right at the moment. So we're keeping it real. We're keeping the prices nice and low, and we just want people to come to us one way or the other.
Wow, nice.
Right. I must say it's a really, you know, in terms of the strategy, it's really amazing. And memang cun lah.
Alright, and Mr. Eric, I see that you have robust strategic plans in store for BCCK, and this will definitely enhance and elevate Sarawak's business event industry, and the ripple effect towards the local economy will be great. So tell us more about other activities you and your team do towards the local community beyond BCCK's role.
Yeah, we obviously we have many CSR projects. Right, and you know what? There's many of them that we embark on over the years, and basically, really every year. And of course, during COVID, we couldn't do anything. But even during COVID, and during one of the Ramadans in the past, where we weren't allowed to invite, say, a whole bunch of kids. Normally, we invite during Ramadan about a good 140 children or something like that, orphanages and orphans. They were not allowed to come, of course, because it was too dangerous. But we then simply go around and we still do our thing. We give them the gifts, we give them the food, we do that sort of thing. And I think that is what we're embarking on. So we normally do around about 4 to 5 official ones. And, well, in business, you always get letters, of course, from those people who are marginalized and organizations that are marginalized. And I would almost dare to say that most of the time we then give something back again.
Wow.
You know, nothing like the Dyslexic Center and I think the organization of the deaf, right? These are just a few to mention, but there's quite a lot of them on the list.
Wow.
You know? So well, it's something that we need to give back. It's like I said earlier on, we can go out and try and make quick money and be these hardcore business people and so on, but I don't think that's what this business is all about. Don't forget, I am a businessman, but at the same time, our business is about people. So if you don't care about people, I think it will never work out. So we do need to care about people, and we need to play our part as BCCK.
And give back to the community.
Yeah, correct. And just on a business note, I mean, there is also I mean, the economic impact that BCCK has generated over the last few years. In fact, I would almost say from the last sort of 11 years, 12 years since its opening, is phenomenal. Okay, you're looking at probably more than 400-500 million ringgit in economic impact.
Wow.
So, and this must grow. And these are nice numbers to throw around, but really in the bigger scheme of things, today's today, and we need to deal with the issues of today. Tomorrow never comes.
Yep.
Tomorrow is always today.
Yep.
Have you noticed that?
Yep.
You can make plans, and of course we make robust plans,
Yep.
but it's always today when you have to focus on what you need to do.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
tomorrow
true.
never
Yep.
comes. Today is today, all right? Okay, so I must say that BCCK is a well-known convention center in Sarawak, you know?
Yes.
So every year you have a different plans, a different activities, a different strategic plans, you know? So where do you see the BCCK in 5 to 10 years?
Okay, that's a nice question. Always a nice question, of course, especially if you understand our business model and so on.
Yeah.
But let me just go back. You know, you're saying it's well known in Sarawak, and again, this is not about boasting. That these are pure facts. Up until a few years ago, we were in top 17, voted top 17 in the world of all the convention centers in the world. So to be top 17, and we sort of figured that we came out 14th. Is a phenomenal feat for a relatively small convention center in Kuching, right?
Yeah.
Many people have never even heard of Kuching, but now they do. They know where Sarawak is. They know who Kuching is. So that is a great situation. I think also for us to move forward with all the other aspects, and I'll get to some of them a little bit later. But we are also very big on homegrown events, right? So what does that mean? We basically create events.
Yeah.
So now a lot of times convention centers simply they sit back and they wait for the phone to ring and all the people that they've networked with and they do business that way. And they cold call and they go to certain other businesses to try and sort of penetrate and get their contracts.
Yeah.
But and we do that too. But at the same time, we create our own contracts and create our own events.
Yeah.
Right? And some of these events will have. There's one happening this year, and there are plenty happening next year. And two of them are going to be extremely big. Okay, it's going to be a massive impact. When we're ready to roll that out, I'll be happy to come back and explain it to you. But this is something that I'm extremely, extremely excited about. Yeah. And that event should really live in Sarawak for quite a few years to come. And it should have its stamp on it. You know what I mean? It's going to have its own signature, as it were. So, and then, of course, there are developments. Like I said, I can't talk about it too much, but there's some really big developments happening. So we're looking at expanding BCCK, and I will not say any details right now, but also closer to BCCK itself as well, is that where we look at creating, for instance, a deck outside, you know, for 300-400 people that can overlook the river, just to create another revenue stream again, which we believe has not been tapped into yet. This kind of thing will be unsurpassed. It doesn't exist at the moment in Sarawak. So when we embark on these kind of scenarios, we always, of course, look at some kind of a return, and you know, with business sustainability, it says it all. Can it sustain itself moving down the track? And this is how we've been handling our business, to see what do we need to do in all these different segments to sustain our business, not just as a whole and put a bottom line on it, because some can be healthy, some can be unhealthy. But so this is the kind of thing that we're looking at. But it's a constant struggle, but it's a fun struggle. So yeah, I'm very, very happy at the moment.
Wow. All right. Okay, maybe as a teaser to our viewers, the events that will be held in the next few years that you say is going to be big. Maybe you can share what industry. Would it be a business event, an arts event, or?
I think it's going to be an amalgamation of all sorts of things.
Oh wow.
The Sarawak Convention Bureau is the BES is working very hard to getting real big expos in and sort of bigger business in, which I'm very, very pleased about, of course. And that also means that they trust us, right, to handle the business. And I think, again, together with that and tapping into new segments as well, we're embarking on, for instance, sports, something that we've never done. We've bought tiered seating.
Okay.
It's really cool, guys. You got to see this, right? We've handled that for the. We've had an event for the Indonesian singer, you know, who did Freddie Mercury, the Queen concert, right? And there were a few thousand people there, and we had our tiered seating there, so it's all mechanical. We wheel it in, press a button, and this thing simply comes down. People can sit, and this brings a whole new level of business to BCCK. We've thought about that because it was a segment we couldn't get involved with. So what I'm saying to you, sports events, I'm looking at mixed martial arts events. I'm looking at those kind of things there where we can create nice 3, 4, 5,000 people in a nice 3, 4, 5 deal. So that's going to be awesome to watch. And of course, gigs, right? Gigs, people that come and sing, people that come and perform, theater, that kind of thing there. So we have a mini infrastructure now that we've built purely by looking at these developments and actually just simply buying the necessary hardware in order to get them going. So these are all these new segments that we're looking at. So it's all these gigs, entertainment, theater, that sort of thing. We're looking at sports, we're looking at homegrown events, we're looking at building out the business. So it's everything to play for. And the way I'm seeing it in the next 5 to 10 years, if I'm going to just add that, because for me, 3 years is a long time in this kind of business, right? But 5 years is seen as a sort of a long-term plan. I sort of like to go onto a 10-year sort of situation to 2030. And I think that BCCK, with everything that we're doing right now, if everything comes to fruition, I would dare say that we are going to give every big player in this entire region a good wake-up call. And it's going to be really awesome to see. And I'm looking forward to it.
Wow. So are we? We are looking forward to it too.
Yes. Jadi penonton-penonton kat rumah, orang cakap, stay tuned with BCCK. Macam tu. Alright, saya rasa segmen kita dah berakhir untuk dekat sini. Jadi thank you Mr. Eric.
Thank you
very
for
much.
your great sharing with the business in terms of business. Alright, jadi kita nak berhenti berehat. Selepas ini kita ada satu topik yang menarik, iaitu penjagaan ibu mesra di hospital. Jadi jangan ke mana-mana, hanya dalam Sejahtera Asia.